Hey, my name is Aaron King from Georgia Fight Club in Loganville, Georgia. Just going to give you guys a couple of warm-up stretches that you can use day to day, before grappling, before working out, anything like that. Some of them might be a little bit advanced, but basically you just got to start somewhere and continue working on your stretches. Alright, basically every stretch you want to hold for at least 30 seconds. Obviously, longer the better, depending on how much time you have to stretch. You definitely want to make sure that you work your upper and lower body and your middle back. You don't want to forget any of the small little bits, especially your neck, small joints in your hands, and that sort of thing as well. Basically, I usually start off with my legs because they're fun to do. Basically, anytime you want to make sure that you keep a good posture with your back. You don't want to just bend over your back. You want to keep a nice posture with your back. If you can't stretch all the way to your feet, then you basically just have to start with your ankles, grabbing onto your ankles. But you don't want to necessarily want to bend over your back the entire way for each stretch. You want to try to keep your back straight, and that will stretch your calves and your hamstrings a lot tighter if you keep your back straight. So every stretch, 30 seconds, grab out with both hands, touch it, stay there. If you start to feel that your muscles are loosening up, you can always push it a little bit farther, but you don't want to go too far at first. You'd rather start off with one side, do 30 seconds on this side, switch, do 30 seconds on this side, and then come back, and then hit your same side again. And you'll feel that there will be a difference. You'll be able to stretch a lot more once you hit the side the second time. So leg straight, one bent in. You can also do the crazy knee stretch and do one leg over, pushing this knee down towards the ground. You'll feel it the bottom of your leg here, and you'll feel it a little bit more in your calf, and then over here again. So either inside or over the top. So you do both sides there. Also, you'd want to do straight feet, both in front, just like this, touching your toes, grabbing your ankles, however you need to do it. Make sure to hold it for 30 seconds. One of my favorites for your rubber guard, your butterfly guard, anything like that, is your butterfly stretch. Always bringing your heels as close into your cup as you possibly can, and then pushing your knees down towards the mat. Now, you don't want to force your knees down to the mat. If you've been doing this a while, then you know that your knees can hit the mat, then you can push them towards the mat just like this. Otherwise, if you haven't done this stretch in a long time or haven't done it ever before, whatever your knees are off the ground, you want to keep them that way. You can basically just hold your toes here, get straight posture, and then lean forward. That'll do the same thing as pushing your knees down, but it won't injure your legs, and it won't cause any knee injuries in the future. Once you get this stretch down pat, then you can start pushing on the knees. Otherwise, just grab your feet, chest up, push down, and then drive your body down towards the mat. Once you get really advanced with this one, you can obviously then push the knees and bring your nose down towards the mat just like this. Turn your head towards the side. Alright, 30 seconds, very important. I've already warmed up before doing this video, so make sure that you hit 30 seconds on each one. Another good one to do for your lower back and for your legs, cross stretch just like this. One leg straight, one leg bent over, turning your elbow towards the inside, hands on the mat, and then looking away. Make sure, again, you want your posture to be right. You don't want to be crunched up into a little ball. You want your posture, your back to be straight. And you want to be looking up and over your shoulder, not down towards the mat. Up and over your shoulder. All right? Another good one for the lower back. Toes down, body straight. Once again, arching that back, keeping that back straight, looking up over your shoulders. You can also turn to the side, turn to your other side. Remember, spending 30 seconds on each side. Now, we also don't want to neglect the upper body. You always want to do the over the arm stretch right here, pulling from the shoulder, right? Not pulling from the elbow, pulling from the shoulder, cross the body, under the chin. Remember, keep your back straight. All these things rely on good posture. You don't want to have bad posture in doing these exercises. You always want to be stretching with correct posture, keeping your back straight, arm in front. You can always do arm over the back. And you can also do your arm across the body going towards the mat, touching down towards the mat on your side. Another good lower back stretch. Have both legs flat. Bring one knee up, and then direct that knee towards the ground. Alright? Now the key here is to keep this leg straight, point your toe, bring this knee to the mat in a 90-degree angle to your feet. You can also use your foot right here as a liner against your other knee. and then trying to square off and pin both of your shoulders towards the mat. Once again, you want to look up and over your shoulder, not down, not towards the mat, not right towards your side, but up and over towards the direction. You can even use your hand and kind of stretch out that direction. And you'd obviously switch it up and do the other side, same way. You also want to make sure that you hit your neck. Stretch it out this way. Remember, you don't want to ever push these muscles too far. Stretching is to prevent injuries, not create new ones. So you want to make sure that you stretch lightly and work your way up the system. Make sure that you spend 30 seconds on each one and maybe hit a couple of them each time. So with your neck, again, being very safe. Push it to the side, push it up, push it down. You can always roll your neck really slowly, being careful. And you'll be able to stretch out your whole body. Feet, back, arms, and neck.
Lotus.
Lotus. Oh, both legs over. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then there's also the Lotus stretch. If you start getting into the Lotus stretch, then you have to definitely be careful about your knees. This puts a lot of pressure on your knees. A great way to start off with the Lotus stretch is doing your crazy knee stretch right here. This is the best way to start off with learning how to do your Lotus stretch here and pushing on your knee gently here. Once you get past this point to where this doesn't hurt and you can bear down and put pressure on both sides, then you can start doing your Lotus stretch. Your Lotus stretch is you're going to take both feet, you're going to straighten them out, which this is another good stretch right here. One foot over the knee, driving your knee down, and then the other foot will come over on top, and then we'll sit you down like this. Now what you want to do is press on the knees, posture straight, and look up towards the ceiling, chest out every time. Alright? Release it, switch it up. Now, the fun thing is when you can do it without your hands. That gets pretty intense. But you may have to take your foot and bring it up, and you may only be able to get it right about here the first time, and then maybe the next time right about here, and then maybe eventually you'll be right here. And then in the future, you might be able to get it to where you can pop up and put them in just like that. And then you'll be able to get your stretch on anyway. So those are a bunch of good stretches that you can use day to day in your grappling, and it'll definitely get you nice, flexible, and limber.